Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I am a big fan of robot vacuums. Let's talk about why. So I'm a big fan of robot vacuums for three big reasons. One, you can run these when you are not at home. Two, they'll save you a lot of time. That time that you would normally spend running a vacuum is the time that you gain back. And three, they're able to get under spaces that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to get under with a standard vacuum. So think like your beds, think of coffee tables, couches, all those things that you're not going to move out of the way, robot vacuums can normally get under. So I have owned the Samsung R7070 for 1 year, and this is just a quick walkthrough and kind of my 1 year review. So first of all, talking about the physical properties or the build of this particular vacuum, you will notice that it is considered to be a D-shaped vacuum. So what that means is that it is better at getting in the corners when you've got one side that is flush. Plus, Samsung did a great job of installing this feature here on the side, which is essentially a blade called their edge cleaning system. Once it comes up to a flat surface like a corner or a wall, this piece will extend out, grab the dirt so that it can be pulled into the vacuum. So Samsung considers their R7070 to be a pet robot vacuum, and we'll get into a little bit more of what that means in just a few moments. What's great is you've got these large wheels that are great on whether it's low carpet, shag carpet, or anything in between. These wheels, which are kind of independently able to do this, is great. You'll notice that on the bottom, there are these swivel wheels that help complement these large ones here. This compartment here is where the battery is housed. So what's great is, of course, the battery is going to wear out after a certain amount of charges and being used. So after that period of time, you can simply just pull it out and put in another battery, which is great, easily accessible. Samsung also puts a on and off master switch here because when you are maintaining your robot vacuum, and maintaining the vacuum is very important if you want these to last. Again, I've had this for about 1 year. I usually run it about three times a week. And because I'm constantly maintaining it, I feel like it runs as good as new. So moving on, you've got these metal contacts on the bottom. So when this actually pulls up to the charging or the docking station, it will connect here to charge. So a moment ago, I mentioned that Samsung considers this to be their pet robot vacuum. And let me talk about why real quick. If you go ahead and you remove the brush roll for this particular vacuum, you're going to notice that this is not traditional bristles on this. It's actually a rubber compartment here. And what's great is you've got these tiny little, they almost look like teeth. But the idea is that because there's no bristles, you don't have to worry about constantly having to clean things out of the bristles. What's great is the way this is designed, it pulls all of the hair that would normally get caught around the bristles into the edge of the guard here. And so once the hair hits this guard, it's actually cut up. And that way it's great for any pet owners. If you have, cat that sheds a lot, dogs, whatever the case may be, if you actually use this vacuum, it's going to be better at getting all of that pet hair out of your carpet and actually cutting it up and getting it into the bin. What's also really great about this product here is it's one of the few robot vacuums on the market that actually gets the dirt at the bottom of the carpet. which is pretty impressive because a lot of standard vacuums might do that. It's very uncommon that a robot vacuum does that. So to be able to find one that can actually get that dirt that actually sits at the very bottom of the carpet is actually impressive. So moving to the top side of this, you're going to notice that you have a very large trash bin for all of the dirt. It's powered by Samsung Cyclone Force, which is great because it provides a huge amount of suction on this particular model, and it's able to get just about everything off the carpet. Very easy to put back in. One thing I wanted to mention that I really like is that this particular vacuum comes with removable and washable filters. So they come with 2 of them. So usually every week when I'm maintaining the vacuum, I'll pull out the dirty filter, rinse it out, and let it air dry and throw in the new one. But you simply run this under water, squeeze it out, and you're good to go, which is great. So what's great about the vacuum is that it's considered to be a smart vacuum, meaning it will navigate around the space that you are vacuuming using not only the sensors that are located on the front, so it's not constantly, excuse me, it's not constantly bumping into your furniture, it's not constantly scraping up your what have you, so it's very easy to be able to get around those obstacles in your home. Now, what's great too about this particular vacuum is you've got a camera located in the top here. This camera is actually facing the ceiling, and that's how it knows where it's going in a particular room, where it's already been, and it's able to send you a map of the area that it has covered when it has completed doing its run. One thing I forgot to mention is it's got air vents on the side here. A lot of vacuums, they'll push the air out the back. This is better because it pushes the air up as opposed to out the back of a vacuum or out the side, pushes it up. Another thing I wanted to mention is that you do have to turn on the lights for this to run. There are some vacuums in the market that don't require any light. This one is not the case. Because it has a camera, it needs light to be able to see. So that's one thing that's very important. You'll notice on this particular model, you've got 3 buttons here. You've got your play and pause button or your start and pause button. You've got a button that will send it back to the docking station, and you've got what's called a spot cleaner button. Because I've turned this off from the master switch on the bottom, you're not going to notice that there is a large LCD display here. And what's great is that it will give you battery indication, it will show you the time, it will let you know if it's reserved to clean by a certain time, and I'll talk about what that means in a moment. So overall, you get a large screen that gives you lots of information on the top of the vacuum. You can see, because I've been using it for 3 times a week for the past year, it's got some scrapes on it, it's got some dings, but overall, it's a great vacuum. It's durable, it's smart, it works very well, it is compatible with the smart speakers, which is great. So overall, it is, in my opinion, a good buy. It's a little on the pricey side. At least when I purchased it, I think it ran for about $6.99. Now you can find them for much, much less, probably $300 or $400 less than that cost. It does come with a remote, and with the remote, you are able to turn the vacuum on and off. You can send it back to the docking station. The vacuum has 3 modes. It's got a quiet mode, a normal mode, and a turbo mode. I used to run it on turbo, but didn't really feel the need to, because the normal and the quiet offer plenty of suction to be able to get whatever you need off the floor. You can actually manually drive the vacuum, so you can steer it around using these buttons here. Along the bottom, you've got spot cleaning, the repeat function. You can turn the sound for the vacuum on and off, and all that does is just lessen the beeps that it makes when you are programming it. You can actually schedule this to run. You can either do it as a one-time thing or the same time every day. Now, What's interesting is you can't have it run every other day or anything other than one time or the same time every day, but there are actually ways around that. And if you do it through things like the Google Home routine, you can actually have it run, say in my case, I have it run on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. So on from there, you've got the clock function, and then you've also got the remote button as well. So a lot of functionality in the remote itself. I don't really have a whole lot of complaints about this. Every so often it does get stuck, you know, but it'll always alert you, hey, I'm stuck, come find me. And normally if I have it running while I'm at work, I will come in and I'll find it maybe caught underneath one of the stools near the counter or somewhere like that. That's probably the most common place that it could get stuck. But it's really good at finding its way back home to the charging station once it's completed its run. So now we'll kind of look at the software side of the vacuum, and I'll show you those features as well. So one of the reasons I decided to go with a Samsung PowerBot smart vacuum is because it integrates really well with Samsung SmartThings. Once you've installed or set up the vacuum, you'll easily find the robot vacuum in with the rest of your smart home compatible items. In the software, you can drive your robot vacuum just like you can with the remote. You see a lot of information, whether it's the battery, the suction power can easily be adjusted between the 3 modes. It does have a repeat function, which essentially means that it'll just keep running over and over again until the vacuum wears out, and then it'll find its way back home. What's great about the normal feature is because it is a smart vacuum and it can track where it goes. Once it's done a particular space, it will simply go back to the charging dock. It won't keep running over and over and over again. The schedule function here, again, is where you can set it up to run just once, or you can have it run daily at a certain time. Finally, at the bottom here is going to be your history function. In your history function is where you will get usually a detailed map of where your vacuum has run. Again, overall, I think it's a great product. It's very functional. I wouldn't say it's the most practical item at the price point that I purchased it at, but for the last year that I have owned the product, I think it's a great product. It's dependable. It leaves my carpets and my floors very, very clean at only 3 times a week. It definitely saves me time. It's very convenient to be able to run it when I am not at home as well. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. Please consider subscribing to this channel. And from one tech enthusiast to another, God bless.